What's that one room in your home where you're like, whatever, we could take it, we could leave it, I don't care if I design it. It is probably the bathroom, but the bathroom is the one part of the home where your guests are invited into and is actually a deep representation of you. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how you can make your bathroom look actually super duper luxurious, and I'm gonna show you how you can do it affordably and easily. The first tip on how to make your powder room or bathroom look super duper luxurious is to get something up on those walls. So if we're talking about a powder room, you don't have to worry about steam or moisture quite as much, but if we're talking about a bathroom proper, steam is an issue. So we don't want to put up tons of art in a bathroom. So the best way to get something up on those walls is some paint, a wall mural, something to that effect, or maybe even some wall molding. So you want to put some paint on those walls. You can do a fun design. You can put up a wall mural. Have fun with paint. Remember that you can use paint to even do a fun design that looks like wallpaper. You don't have to use actual wallpaper to get a wallpaper-esque pattern. Now in a powder room, you can use wallpaper. So pick up some real wallpaper, pick up some peel and stick wallpaper and apply that in your powder room. It's a great way to cover those walls in a really vibrant and fun design. That way, you don't have to be on the hunt for really small scale artwork to put on the walls of your powder room. Putting artwork on powder room walls can be really awkward because the walls aren't that vast, right? And with artwork, it's all about point of view and perspective, right? And you want to make sure that people can view that artwork from different perspectives. And since there's only really one perspective you get in a powder room, it doesn't always make sense to put art up on those walls. So if you put up wallpaper, you don't have that same concern. You can just cover those walls with that wallpaper and you are good to go. Now, if you aren't into patterns, that's okay. Lots of people don't like patterns. I'm not gonna hold it against you, but you do need something up on those walls. You don't want them to be like blank four walls. It's not fun, it's boring, right? We're talking about how the bathroom is already boring. We don't want to reinforce that. Put up some crown molding, use some geometric wall molding to do a fun design on the wall. That way you don't have to use fun colors if you're allergic to color, like some of us are here on DIY with KB, but you can make some really fun shapes without breaking from your color scheme to really liven up those walls. There are a lot of fun things you can do with wood, and you can even, get these looks using like 3D tiles. They actually have 3D tiles that you can put on walls as well. They aren't actually made of tile, they're made of plastic, and they're actually great for soundproofing, but you could use those as well to just create really fun shapes on your walls to bring more life to the bathrooms, because the bathrooms aren't, the most lively places. No one is throwing a party in a bathroom. And if you are, I really do have a lot of questions about what it is you get up to in your spare time. You must be a really fun person. But the very next way to make your bathroom look luxurious is to add as much lighting as possible. So when you're creating a luxurious bathroom, you have to think about practical lighting and then lighting for the sake of ambiance. So when we're thinking about practical lighting, we're thinking about lighting on your vanity so that you can apply your skincare and your makeup, and you need lighting to brush your teeth. But then you also need lighting over your shower so that you can wash your face and take a shower, not in the pitch black, because no one enjoys doing that. You also need shower to access your toilet, because we've all been there like stumbling to the toilet in the pitch black and you've tripped over everything and it feels like you're like trying, I don't know, it just is horrible. So we've all been there. So you need a different types of light to just literally use your powder room or your bathroom like functionally. So that is just practical lighting. Then you need lighting for the sake of ambiance, right? Because we're talking about these bathrooms and these powder rooms for use when we're hosting, right? So when we think about hosting, we think about people using these rooms not just to relieve themselves, but for freshening up, right? So they're washing their hands before the meal, they are reapplying their lipstick, they are freshening up their shirts, they're just gathering their bearings, right? So they're going in there and they're just going, Kiva made this really good brownie, or, oh man, this wine sucks, right? They're just gathering their bearings. And you want them to have a nice time doing that. Think about when you go out to a nice restaurant. Let's choose a restaurant that everyone loves, regardless of their budget. So let's just choose the Cheesecake Factory, right? So when you go into the Cheesecake Factory and you go into the bathroom, you can see a little bit, right? It's all about the ambiance. You don't want to see too much, right? You don't want the glaring fluorescent lights, right? It really just kind of kills the vibe. It's very off-putting. You don't want to feel like you're in the middle of like an airport, right? When you're out to eat. right? So you don't want that in a bathroom either, at least not in a powder room. You want that in a bathroom that you're using when you're going to take a shower. So we don't want that for a powder room either, or a bathroom when we are hosting, right? So we need to be able to shift these bathrooms, shift these powder rooms for when we are hosting. So we need to have these lighting options available. So all that being said, what type of lighting do we need to have available? So we need to have lighting on dimmer. So I'm sure they have that at the Cheesecake Factory as well. So we have lighting that can be really, really nice and bright, but we have lighting that can be really nice and dim. So maybe during the day, it's really nice and bright so you can see everything you need to see to be able to brush your teeth and brush your hair and do whatever you need to do. But it can be really nice and dim so that we have that sense of ambiance. Then we have other sources of light, and this is where it gets tricky because it can be really costly to have an electrician come out and hardwire some sconces or this and that. So I'm going to tell you some renter-friendly ways and honestly some more affordable ways to get this luxury look. What I've done in my own powder room is I have a lamp on the countertop. What I did is I got a lamp from Target, I cut the cord and I put a puck light in it. The puck light is battery operated. You touch a button in the puck light and the lamp stays on. So when people come over, I touch the puck light and I just leave it on for the duration of dinner. It will stay charged. I will replace the batteries after a few dinners and we're good to go. Unless someone is like jumping into the lamp, they have no idea that it is a puck light, and then we are good to go. I've also lit my artwork. We've already talked about artwork, so I'll get more into why I do have artwork in this particular bathroom and like the nuances of artwork in a bathroom, but I lit my artwork. So light is coming from the artwork itself, so that is another way to have artwork. And the light bars in my artwork are also on a dimmer, and they're also timed. So the light coming from the art is brighter sometimes and dimmer at other times, and it's on at sometimes and off at other times. I also installed a pendant above my toilet. So sometimes when you're in the toilet, you are the star of the show, right? The light is shining right on you, like shine bright like a diamond, like hello Rihanna. Like that is you when you're on the toilet, when you come over to Kiva's house. And the way that works, there is a battery operated light or a rechargeable light bulb in that. And so I switch it on when people come over, and then I switch it off when people aren't here. And it only comes on when I'm entertaining. Otherwise, I don't need that. I don't need to be the star of the show when I'm using the restroom all the rest of the time because my overhead light is sufficient, right? So you just have to know when you're going to use these light sources and when you're not. And so that is all that goes into having that luxurious feel for your bathroom. So you have all of these different type of light sources available to you, but you just need to know when to use them, and all that goes into curating this luxurious powder room or bathroom. Another way to add ambiance via light in a bathroom is also via a candle, but candles can be dangerous. And of course, I love candles. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. And if you missed one of my last YouTube videos, I actually did a YouTube video on some of my affordable home favorites under $100, and I shared some of my favorite luxury candles under $100. So be sure to click here to go check that video out. But candles are something I caution against in a bathroom because they're very easy to forget about, but I love using them in other parts of the home. But candles are a great way to establish ambiance in a bathroom. But if you're going to use that, I probably say use an LED candle in a bathroom and put it in some sort of vessel so that you get the luminescence, right? But without the fire hazard. That's all I want to say there, because when it's behind a closed door, it's just really, really, really easy to forget about. But otherwise, I do like the idea there. The next way to make your bathroom look luxurious is to invest in glass soap bottles. So people buy new soap bottles all the time. That is nothing new, but they need to be glass. So why do they need to be glass? Kiva, are you just trying to spend more of my money? No, of course not. Why would I want to do that? There is nothing good comes from spending more money. Well, sometimes, but not in this case. But the reason why I want you to get glass as opposed to plastic bottles is because the glass bottles don't hold as much of that residue. So when you go to Bath and Body Works, that's mostly who we're talking about here, right? Because that's where we get these plastic bottles. They have a lot of that, the soap buildup. The soap builds up a lot around the rim of the container, and it builds up on the label, right? And there's a lot of that buildup there that just starts to degrade the container, and it just doesn't look quite as luxurious. So even though the soap smells phenomenal, it smells so good, right? It just doesn't look high end. The same thing happens with Jo Malone. I'm not only beating up Bath and Body Works here. Jo Malone soap is pricey. It smells divine, but it's pricey, and it comes in a plastic bottle. And it doesn't matter how nice the soap is. When the soap runs down the bottle, when someone doesn't pump it correctly, because we cannot control how our guests pump the soap. What am I supposed to do? Stand in the bathroom with them like, you didn't pump it correctly. Come on, let me show you how to do it. Like a kid in kindergarten. I'm not going to do that. I'm not a drill sergeant. Even though people used to call me sergeant when I was in kindergarten. That's not practical. So you need to have a soap bottle that you can easily wash and that isn't going to build up residue. So I actually prefer to use glass soap bottles because they're easier to clean and they just don't have that problem, and they just look a lot more luxurious because the light hits them better. And since we're adding all of these light sources to the bathroom, we also want to add things to the bathroom that reflect light beautifully. So we do want glass bottles if we can have them. And I know glass bottles can be expensive, but you can get them really affordably on Amazon, at Target, at Walmart. So they do not have to be purchased at a premium. You just need to know where to look. It's going to make a huge difference. And remember, you don't have to buy luxury soap to put in these glass bottles. You can buy Dawn dish soap. You can buy soap from the Dollar Tree. It doesn't really matter what you put in them. I think it just matters what you put your soap in. That is really what's going to take you further. So you can keep buying the Bath & Body Works soap. There's nothing wrong with that. Just get the nicer bottles. I think Bath & Body Works even has the nicer bottles. They just are in like the, I want to say it's White Barn. I think maybe that's one of the iterations of their company. They have some of those glass bottles. Those are better. And it also has to do with the labels. So the labels also cause some of that peeling. So if you're going to label your plastic bottles, maybe consider cricketing on labels or adding vinyl labels instead of the paper labels. That will also help with this problem. So if you cannot part with the plastic bottles, though I hope you will, go with vinyl labels instead, because that will help remedy some of this. Now, this next recommendation is powder room specific. This does not apply to bathrooms that you use for entertaining. So if this is your guest room bathroom, this does not apply to you because obviously you use this bathroom on a regular basis, but this is for your powder room or your like hallway bathroom, your half bath, places like this. So in these bathrooms, there should be absolutely no sign that you regularly use this space. And you're like, Kiva, this is ridiculous. I live in this home. Now hear me out. What I'm saying is that I want you to have really phenomenal storage solutions. Haha, that's what I'm saying here. I'm just saying I need you to be organized. So you have a vanity in this room. I know you have a vanity, and I just want it to be organized beautifully down below, because in our half baths, in our powder rooms, we tend to not do a great job of this. We tend to just store like 20 boxes of Kleenex under there. And I'm like, do you have a chronic like cold? Why do you have so many boxes of Kleenex? There's no reason for that, right? So we need to do a better job of organization underneath. So let's take a trip to the container store. I know you want to go there anyway, and get a lot of good storage containers and get organized under there. So add extra toothbrushes, your soap, your shampoo, your conditioner, everything you need, tampons, all those things, all the things a guest can need, all the things your guest may be embarrassed to ask you when they're visiting, when they're over for dinner, all that stuff, even though the body is not embarrassing. All of those things under there, you can label them all, tuck them all underneath there so they're laid out beautifully, right? And so that none of your things need to be out on display, right? So that all of the things that are out on display can be decorative, so that the focus can be on the decor and everything can be beautiful. It's really hard to mix decor and practical items in a space that's so small when it is a powder room, right? Because most powder rooms are like, 3 feet wide, 4 feet wide. There's only so much space on a floating shelf, right? So if it's shampoo versus a vase, the shampoo's gonna win. But if there's room for shampoo down in the vanity, let's make it work. We just have to have a great organization system for the, for the vase to beat out the shampoo up on that floating shelf. So let's just get organized. I promise you, it'll only take you a few minutes once you take everything out, measure, and get to it. But I promise you, it is going to work wonders for you. That's what I did down below. And honestly, we are good to go now. The next way to make your bathroom look luxurious is to switch out your lighting, your hardware, your fixtures, switch out all of that from what your contractor put in. Switch out all of those builder grade items. Now, if you selected those items when you built in, I'm not talking about you obviously because you chose them, but If you're a renter, if you're a homeowner, you can switch out these things. If you're a renter, put all those items in a baggie, store them under the cupboard, and reinstall them when you move out. But on websites like Wayfair and Amazon, you can get all these items really affordably. I'm talking under $100. Install them and switch them back out when it is time to leave. But don't be afraid to change those fixtures. It's super easy to swap out some handles. It's super easy to switch out a faucet. Same thing for the electrical. The electrical is a little bit more difficult. Make sure you know where the breaker is and to turn it off and to be really safe about it. That is not me giving out electrical advice because Kiva is not an electrician, right? And I didn't do it. I tried to do it myself and babe came to the rescue because I literally was not even strong enough to bend a wire. So that's my story there. But have fun switching things out and don't be afraid to mix metals. Just remember color theory when it comes to things like that. But switching out these fixtures is a way to really express yourself. So in my case, what I did is I switched out our faucet. We had a chrome builder grade faucet and there was nothing wrong with it, but I actually chose to install a faucet that was meant for a bathtub on our sink. It is a round, big, bulky faucet, but I thought it was so fun and I thought it would be super rad on a sink. And that's what I went ahead and did, and I think it is super fun, and honestly, it is way easier to clean, which is one of the other reasons why I got it. Just don't be afraid to have fun. I also chose a light fixture that looked like a picture light, right? So it looked a little bit more refined, which is why I thought it was a great addition. Plus, it's a lot easier to clean because it doesn't have the glass around, so no more dusting for Kiva every single day. So I made my life a lot easier. Think about these things when you're designing your powder room so that your life is easier and things just look a lot more luxe. I'm telling you, light fixtures and hardware, they are the cheapest modifications you can make in a space that also instantly elevate any room. The very last way that you can make your bathroom look luxurious is to add some floating shelves. Now, they don't have to be traditional floating shelves that you think of in a bathroom that tend to be really farmhouse. You could have corner floating shelves. This is what I did. And you don't have to have a ton of them. You can just have a few. Add live plants, add faux plants, add decorative items, add whatever it is that you want, but adding floating shelves gives you a great place to add decor if you do have more practical items sitting on your countertop. Adding floating shelves gives you a basic place to put some decorative items because let's face it, sometimes we just don't want to put decor on our toilet tank because maybe we have to put Kleenex on our toilet tank, or maybe we don't want anything on our toilet tank because someone sits on the toilet too hard. I don't know. That's like a really normal concern, and there's just no real place to put stuff in a bathroom. There is no side table in a bathroom, though I do have one in my bathroom and I'll link it down below. I do have a side table in my bathroom. But you need somewhere to put decor, so corner shelves or floating shelves are a good backdrop for that. Okay, you guys, that's it for today's video. Those were 6 tips on how to make your bathroom look luxurious. If you follow these tips, your bathrooms will look so vibrant and cool. Once I applied all these tips to my bathroom, I promise you I spend way more time in there than you think I would, and I promise you it's not because I'm using the bathroom, it's because I enjoy it. So I just stand in there awkwardly and it's super weird, but I really, really like it. Which one of these tips are you going to apply? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. If you liked today's video, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Until next time, have a beautiful day.